Welcome to Grown Dad Business. This is Aaron Kleiber. We're what, Jason? You okay? I'm here with Jason Clark, who's having
drop it.
No, Jason Clark is in the dad cave.
Pew pew pew.
Oh,
God.
pew pew pew
Pew pew pew.
Yeah.
We're I'm lamenting the dad cave because I will be out of the dad cave in 2 short weeks.
Yeah. Will this be the last time that we're in here together?
This is the last
Here?
week of the dad cave.
We might have to go remote.
This is it.
It might be a remote.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is the last episode in the dad cave. But we'll be moving on to a new house. And we'll have the dad layer, I believe. But anyway,
this is. Oh, by the way, this
intro is way too long.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, what we're missing in this dad cave right now is the room covered with Star Wars posters, which is what we're talking about this week, because May the 4th be with you. This is released May 4th. It is Star Wars Day.
Yep.
And normally we're in the dad caves surrounded by Star Wars. And Jason and I, we're going to walk through our Star Wars journey.
A little bit.
We're pretty much just going to talk about how much we love Star Wars and why we love Star Wars. And I'll tell you about one time that I slept out for Star Wars tickets.
That's nice.
Yeah, I know, right?
I got a little story too.
Ooh.
I'm gonna tease it.
Ooh, you son of a bitch.
Granddad Business with Aaron Kleiber. That's my dad. Hello, underpants. That is hilarious. You should mouth to rate and review this podcast, or my daddy will go into a deep depression. Going down business with Aaron Kleiber.
A boom, ba boom.
Double a boom.
Boom.
Easy.
Bum, bum, boom, 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 boom. And we get sued. And we're sued. And we're kicked off of iTunes.
Grown Dad Business brought to you by George Lucas.
Ooh, I wish.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Disney LucasArts, Lucasfilm. Hey,
right.
George Lucas, holler at your boy. What is George Lucas doing besides swimming in money like Scrooge McDuck?
I don't know.
Isn't he worth like $4 billion?
It sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jason and I, we're celebrating Star Wars Day by talking about Star Wars pretty much this whole podcast. That's what we're going to be doing.
We might be marginalizing our audience.
I don't care.
It is our 80th episode. It is the 80th episode of Grown Dad Business.
Yeah.
And this is my 30th with you.
Is it?
Yes.
How are you be counting?
Happy anniversary.
Happy 30th anniversary, Jason.
I went through and counted the catalog so I could talk about that for a split second.
What a creepy dude.
Why?
That's a little weird.
You should celebrate
Like,
your
I'm counting.
anniversaries.
I'm counting.
No, I think you're weird.
I didn't. Well, I didn't. I wouldn't. I didn't. You counted though.
I went through them and I was just
All
like,
right, that's
well,
all right.
first I want to see how many episodes that you're in.
Yeah.
And you're 80 in.
Yeah.
You know, 100 is around. We're talking about the 100th episode already.
Guys,
me
the
and you on
100th
backside.
episode, I'm pretty sure is going to be a live episode.
Yeah.
Gotta figure that out.
Yeah, so we're talking about that. So I was just like, well, where are we at? And I'm just looking when will that hit?
Yeah.
So we can start doing some planning and things. And then it just sort of hit me that I was like, wow, how many have I done? So that's all. I just want to see how many times I've been on. So
yeah, we're gonna hopefully have a live 100th episode, and but today, this is all Star Wars. I know we've mentioned it 5 times.
As of December 2016, George Lucas is worth U.S. $5.1 billion.
What do you do all day? Because I don't think he has any more creative control of Star Wars.
No, I don't believe he does.
He just sold Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "It's all yours."
What's amazing about him was he took a lower salary for the very first one, but wanted more of the merchandising rights.
Oh,
and
yeah, I know.
everyone thought he was an idiot.
Oh no,
because movie toys at that time were like nothing. No one did movie toys.
He pretty much set the precedent for movie toys.
Sure.
I mean, yeah.
That's all we wanted.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, George Lucas is a dad.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't know if we should talk about Star Wars in chronological order, but as a team one time, we did receive a letter from George Lucas at one point.
Yeah.
I did a mockumentary film called A Great Disturbance, and the director was sent a letter from George Lucas and said that his daughter and himself watched our film and laughed a lot.
Fun. It's
Isn't that crazy?
Funny. It's funny.
Because I believe our director sent it to him, our producer sent it to him, and they watched it. And Lucasfilm actually gave us permission to film at the Star Wars Celebration 3 where we filmed.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
It's crazy. I believe our director, he has it framed in his house.
I believe.
Isn't that
should. Nice? It was.
Lucasfilm leather.
It's a lot of everything. It's a lot of fun. It is definitely worth the sit down and watch. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, Great Disturbance is on my YouTube page. You can watch the full mockumentary there.
So what was your first? Do you remember your first introduction to the Star Wars?
I'm gonna tell you
universe?
what. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't really remember because I was born in 1981, so Star Wars came slowly as like this thing that just existed in kiddom. You know, like it was just like people were playing Star Wars and Star Wars tours were still kind of hot when I was like 4 or 5. But I do remember having a couple old Star Wars figures, and I think they were my stepbrothers.
Right.
So I had those, but I really didn't start, I think, falling in love with it until I really started watching movies, like around 8 or 9 years old, like really just starting to, kind of be a latchkey kid after school and watch a ton of movies. And I just remember falling in love. Mm-hmm. I mean, I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, when you're 9, 10 years old, 8 years old, when you see this, it blows your mind.
Yeah.
Dude, and this is the only time that I envy you being older than me, because
other than my kids soon to be all out of the house.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not ready for that. I like my little kids.
We just had that moment the other night. We were sitting on the deck yesterday for lunch. Me and Melissa and the kids were with us for lunch, and then they went their separate ways. And we just sort of sat there. And she goes, "Yeah, we're gonna be empty nesting soon." And we're just like, "Yeah, we are."
And you're like, "This isn't that bad."
No, it's not too bad.
No,
but
right
anyways,
now,
no. There's times where I look and I see your babies, and I'm like,
I know, man. I miss.
But you were saying about envying me because I've seen first releases, and like I didn't see a New Hope because I was only 3 when that came out.
Isn't it funny though? People have those stories where they're like, I went and saw Star Wars. I was 2.5.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you don't remember that?
Yeah, I
know
know
you don't.
Yeah.
People are goofy.
Well, I think you remember. Like, I think it's sort of you do have these moments of not that young. That's too young.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But there's moments where like I can remember. I remember seeing Return of the Jedi very clearly.
Oh,
but I don't recall as much Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
And I couldn't tell you, like, did I seen Empire Strikes Back before I seen A New Hope.
Wow.
Because, understand, the
there
time. I couldn't go.
Nobody had VHSs.
No. I didn't get, Aaron, I did not get my VCR in my home until I was in 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
1987 is when we got.
I mean, yeah, that's probably, dude, I probably didn't get a VCR probably till probably about 1988.
Yeah. But I did have a buddy whose dad was, ahead of the curve with technology, and he had the laser discs.
Oh, man.
So he had the laser discs, and we would watch the Star Wars laser discs. I wish I could recall when I seen A New Hope for the first time. But I definitely seen it in a way. I probably would have seen it after I seen Empire Strikes Back, because you were just sort of like, why? What? And it kind of messed with the story for me a little bit if you think about spoilers.
That's
like
weird. Spoiler alert.
What happens at the end of
we have to say that?
Yeah, really.
I mean, dude, you know what though? But I did love it, and they started bringing out more toys in like 93, 94, and I was into other things then. But I tell you what, dude, like when those re-releases came out, it was like 95.
Okay.
I think. When they brought them back to theaters.
Mm-hmm.
It was about 95, 96.
Yeah.
I think it was about 8th or 9th grade. And dude, that just made me be like, oh yeah, those are my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah. I mean,
like they were so good.
Especially if you've only ever seen it, on a television, and then you get to go see it, and obviously, remastered and everything
it was
is just
magical.
Better. It sounds better. It looks better.
I do remember, and this was before message boards, and it wasn't before message boards. It was before Facebook and social media, and
obviously,
and so, but I still remember amongst my group of friends how much we hated the additions that George Lucas made.
Oh,
he added that scene with Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah,
and he added, oh my God, was that later? No, that was then. That was then.
Then they messed with the cantina too, didn't he? The cantina.
They refilmed parts of the cantina and added a song. And it was so bad.
Yeah, it was.
And we were like, "What the f?" We were so mad.
Yeah, you talk about the toys. That was my earliest memory of jealousy.
Oh, really?
Because there was a kid in my neighborhood.
That sounds like a crazy movie title.
Oh, yeah.
My earliest memory of jealousy.
Yeah, man.
Or like that's a romance novel.
There was a kid in the neighborhood that, he had two Darth Vader carriers. The carriers.
Oh, yes, I do.
And he had two of them. Mike Ricker was his name.
Mike Ricker.
And I'd get so pissed because I think he caught on at one point that the only reason I wanted to be friends with him is because I wanted to play with the Star Wars figures because I didn't have any.
You son of a
I've
bitch.
told that story on stage before where I used wooden clothespins and I painted them.
That's right, you said.
And painted a black one for Darth Vader, like the old wooden ones, not the ones with the spring loads.
What color was Lando Calrissian then?
Lando wasn't part of my collection.
He had a black head and a blue body.
Yeah. But I took a Yoda and we cut the Yoda in half and painted that green. And
dude,
so
look at you with your third world country toys.
I know, right?
That's what I mean, dude.
But I had to have him. I had to play, and I wanted to have that in my life because I seeing them and just, oh my God. Then that son of a bitch, he had the money in Falcon. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I've never even seen that in person.
Oh my God. But here's a crazy
I've never
story.
Seen that in person.
My nephew, Bobby, and Bobby's only like 3 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Bobby had them all. This is on my wife's side, my wife's sister's kid. And when he went off to college, went to Penn State, she sold everything.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's sort of went away at some point. I don't know the full story.
What?
I think my brother-in-law listens to our podcast, so he might want to give me a shout out and call me and give me the full details on that. Yeah, so I mean, but that's something my mom would do too. My mom would, she'd be like, "Oh, he's not here anymore. This is kids' toys," and just get rid of it. But going to see Return of the Jedi, when it released. And so that excitement,
I can't imagine.
God, that excitement that you felt about, going to see, that next one was just.
I can't imagine.
Was only, it was only matched by the excitement as an adult to go see Harry Potter. Right. I had to get that in. It anticipating that next, because you want to know what happens.
Yeah.
Then we weren't going off books. There, I wasn't into, anything like that. It was all about the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you had to wait for that movie to understand. So you went from 1980. It was 3 years.
Yeah.
We had 3 years to understand what the hell was going to happen next.
I mean, that's now, people watching, the Marvel movies, they're coming out. Then again, though, they come out with all of the subsidiaries, all the Marvel Universe movies. So it's sure, there's Avengers: Age of Ultron, but then there's Spider-Man between that.
Yeah,
and
so
Thor.
your appetite's kind of
it's wet.
Yeah,
it's wetted.
It's wetted.
It's WHET wet. It's wetted.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, dude. Waiting that long, and hey man, waiting that long for the prequels. And yes, I'm in a generation where I say prequels.
Yeah.
Some people just say, "Oh, those are episodes 1, 2, and 3." No, I say the prequels.
Yeah.
Man. Waiting for those was especially tough because I was an adult who was a fan.
Right.
And Phantom Menace was so. It was so bad.
Yeah.
That it was hard waiting for that next one. because you're just like, and don't get me wrong, there are some really good parts in Phantom Menace. What are you laughing at?
I can see you go to see Phantom Menace, and you're so fired up. You're excited. Dude. You're like, you can't handle it. You can't sleep, and you can't wait. Right? You're an adult. You go and you see that flaming piece of freaking shit.
Let me explain.
And I could see your.
So let me tell you
halfway
about
through,
this.
you had to been like, God damn.
I'll tell you how it happened. So up until 1999, when Phantom Menace was released, we were fans our whole life, right? Mm-hmm. But in 1999, I was a senior in high school, and my friend, who has been a guest, Chris Prexta,
did the video games two-parter with us?
He did the two-parter video game episode. Chris is also he's one of the co-creators of Pittsburgh Dad. He's the writer and director of Pittsburgh Dad. You guys, check out his new film, Echo Torch.
Great Disturbance with you.
He was in a great. Well, him and I pretty much created a Great Disturbance. Mm-hmm. We had this idea of turning this Star Wars documentary into an actual mockumentary. Yeah. Chris plays an amazing character in a Great Disturbance as well. His last acting performance.
Was it?
I mean, yeah.
That was after.
That was after Captain Blasto. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Yeah, that was.
Which is also a fun.
That was 2005.
I know we're friends, but I look at that, I'm like, this was fun.
It's wild, man.
When I watch it was fun. I'm like, this is fun.
Yeah, we made those movies 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It's crazy. I know. Now we're full adults with children, talking about Star Wars on a podcast.
Hey, buddy.
But yeah, so Chris is a year older than me, and he was he was in his first year of college, I believe, at Point Park, and I was a senior in high school, and I almost failed English because I skipped school. My English teacher was also my drama teacher.
Okay.
So, I was one of his guys, one of the people that are in drama getting leads and,
Yeah.
So he really gave it to me. But so we went to, and if you're from the Pittsburgh area, we went to the South Hills Village Mall.
Yeah.
That's where we went to the premiere because there really was only a couple theaters, and that was the nice theater then.
Yeah.
How funny is that?
Yeah, it was.
There was no waterfront. There was no, waterfront did come for like 2 years later, a year later. So we went and we waited in line. We camped out, dude. Here's what we did. So apparently there's like all these rules. Like you heard that nobody was allowed to be in line until the next morning at 6 a.m. until daybreak. So Chris and we went out to the mall at midnight, and we thought, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go, I think we did, and I don't remember what we saw. I'll have to ask Chris. We went and saw a movie at 11 p.m., I believe. I think we did.
Okay.
And we took sleeping bags, we took chairs, we took board games, and we had friends that were going to meet us there the next morning.
I didn't know people did this.
Yeah, dude.
In Pittsburgh. I've seen it in other cities. But...
We also took a video camera with us. We filmed the whole thing. We have video footage of us waiting in line for Phantom Menace. So, we ended up, we started seeing people get in line at 3 in the morning. 2 in the morning, and we're like, what the F? Nobody's supposed to be in line yet.
You're crazy.
Dude, hundreds of people in their cars waiting.
Oh, okay.
Just looking at the doors of the movie theater. Well, people started lining up. People started setting up a tent.
Oh.
People started setting up, camping chairs and tents, and you just, all of a sudden, you just saw people be like, oh, F this.
Was this in the spring?
Yes, this was in May.
So it was towards, it
was in May, yeah. Yeah, because I believe it premiered May 14th or something.
Okay.
May 15th, something like that. So we started seeing people get in line, and we were like, F this, we're going to get in line, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. We grabbed our stuff. Dude, we were 50th, 60th in line. Because with that many people started, I'm not kidding, dude. Once those first 5 or 6 people were
all it took.
They're just we're setting up a tent. I don't care.
What are they going to do?
We're doing it. What are you going to do?
Cops on you?
Yep, what are you going to do? So people, I'm not kidding. The 50 people in front of us, they were booking, dude, across the parking lot. I was like, we better go, bro. We better go now. It's starting.
All right.
And we basically, we were goofy dudes. I was class clown. We had a good time, man. We met a lot of people. I mean, it's 4 in the morning, and there's grown men like having choreographed lightsaber fights. It was hysterical.
Yeah.
It was the oddest group of like, it was just this like this carny atmosphere.
Yeah.
It was so crazy.
Yeah.
And so finally we got to go in, and I think we went in at like 10 a.m. I think that was the first showing. 10 a.m. on Friday morning. And I mean, dude, I just remember people cheering, and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it because it was just nuts, dude. When you see that Lucasfilm green logo, I mean, the place, it was like the Penguins won the Stanley Cup. Yeah. It was insane.
And then what happens?
And then you start watching it, and I should have watched it again to, like, recap, but I don't think I can.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where, you know, there are great parts. Darth Maul is awesome.
Yeah.
He's incredible. I mean, he is a great villain that I think is forgotten because The Phantom Menace was not good.
Right.
And
the look was awesome. His look was good.
He's perfect.
I mean, his fighting style was unreal.
But then you got Jake Lloyd,
Ugh,
little Anakin, and you got, you know, the guy that's his slave owner, Sabalba.
What?
And the pod race. It was so bad. You know, and young Obi-Wan was good, and Qui-Gon Jinn, but it was one of those things where it's like you're watching your kids play sports.
Right.
And your kid is really bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I remember sitting there watching it like, oh, I want to be really excited. I'm super excited. And you're like 20 minutes in, 30 minutes in, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, this is, like, I don't want to not like this. I remember feeling bad for not liking it.
Think about,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just looking at Jake Lloyd's life here on.
He was way better in Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you could think like what his parents were thinking, like holy shit, like
yeah,
the kid is set for life.
Yes,
and then it turns out that it just was not good.
I mean, it doesn't matter. He was still in a $1 billion movie.
The
movie still made $1 billion.
Yeah, for the rest of his life, he shows up at Comic-Cons and and he can sign
There's still
and
fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like anything, I think that you can deadpan it, but then there's going to be people that thought, oh, this was good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, people loved Netflix's Daredevil, and I was like, man, whatever. Whatever, do you.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the Punisher to come up.
Yeah, but it's just like anything. It's like it's like the new ones that have just come out, and, you know, the detractors. And I was, you know, the Rogue was it Rogue One?
Rogue One, yeah.
You know, enjoyed the hell out of Rogue One.
I really liked it.
Yeah, enjoyed it. Like, really, really had a good time with it. You know?
Yeah,
and
really good.
But,
dude, Force Awakens was phenomenal. It was really good.
Yeah.
You weren't crazy about it?
Well, I just got kind of put off by
what, a female lead, Jason?
Oh,
no.
I'm kidding. No. Oh, Christ, no. I absolutely was. No, that was fine.
Well, what threw you off on a Force Awakens?
The Force Awakens, the parts that just threw me off a little bit was just the bringing it back to how much everyone was cheering for it. Just the audience drove me crazy more than the movie itself. When we did our episode on that movie, we did that with Sean, and we did the Can't Handle the Truth with Missy, and I loved it. I did. Yeah. I loved it. I had fun with it. But at the same time, I thought Rogue One just to me was just like a grittier.
Absolutely. It definitely was.
The nostalgia was great. Like, oh my god, when you seen. You know,
spoiler alerts.
Yeah, when you seen them come on screen and you sort of went back to your childhood and all those good things.
The last 10 minutes of the movie made me like lose my mind.
Yeah.
Because it really does lead up to A New Hope.
Oh,
like to the second.
Yeah, and we've seen someone who did the YouTube where they mashed them together.
Which my daughter watched every single morning for like 3 months straight.
Yeah, little fire cat.
She loves it.
Yeah. The baby.
Yeah.
Not Becca.
Yeah.
The baby.
Yeah, the baby was like
I want to see.
But yeah, I mean, you know, I've always been in love with it, and then from A Great Disturbance, from us filming that, I got into Star Wars miniatures, and that is basically like World of Warcraft,
and that's what Prexta's character is playing.
Yes.
That's his in the movie. That's his story
his thing
arc.
in the movie. He's a gamer.
Yeah.
And
it's so funny when he shows up and he gets so pissed off.
Don't even tell people.
He gets
You got to
so
watch it.
Pissed off.
I know, it's ridiculous.
He's so
kids. Kids, I'm playing kids. Oh yeah.
When he's in his hotel room and he swears to God that die is defective.
And he calls the company that makes the
like,
dice.
I can't roll a goddamn 20 or
it's
whatever.
so ridiculous. I know. It's so silly.
I should have talked to him about that the other day.
And it's so funny because we'll all tell each other that they're the funniest character in the movie. And it is still one of the most fun characters I've ever played.
Oh, man. Anyway.
Well, so
I'm sorry.
So I was into Star Wars miniatures for a while where you put the board down and you roll dice and you have characters and you get rare characters.
Right.
Boba Fett was very rare. I mean, dude, it was a lot of fun for a while. And then I had kids and I had to sell all this shit. I sold so much Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference. That's what we'll talk about in the second half. Because really, once your kids are introduced to Star Wars, for me, it's like a whole new thing. It was a whole new thing for me. Yeah, we're going to get into that because, and then you can hear me do a bunch of Star Wars impressions. And maybe I can get my kids to come and do some of their Star Wars impressions because my baby does some Star Wars impressions, believe it or not. But real quick, we're going to give some shout-outs to some friends of ours that we love. Yo, so check it out. We just want to give a shout-out real quick to a couple sponsors from friends of ours. Number one, check out Ignite Hospitality. If you're an entertainer or a comedian or a musician and you travel around the country and you have to book your own hotels, well, my friend Adam at Ignite Hospitality can hook you up with social media and review trades. Yes. You post on social media, you write reviews for these hotels, you get cheap hotels. So go to Ignite Hospitality on Facebook. You can look them up. IgniteHospitalityServices.com. Go talk to Adam. He'll hook you up. I am always pumped. I'm staying in Chicago again for like $24. It's amazing. I'm also staying in Bloomington, Indiana for $34 a night. And it's unbelievable. And I'm talking about like Courtyard Marriott's, Holiday Inns, Hyatt's. I stayed in a 5-star Hyatt for $40 a night last year, all because of Ignite Hospitality. So check them out. And also, quick shout-out to another sponsor of ours, Laughable. You got to check out the Laughable app.
It's the one-stop podcast app for comedy.
Dude, if you listen to comedy podcasts, download the app Laughable right from your iTunes store. And you go in and you can pick your favorite comedians to follow. They have the podcasts that they host and all the podcasts that they have been a guest on. So you just follow your favorite comedians. Go on Laughable, search for Aaron Kleiber. You'll see my podcast, Grown Dad Business, which you can listen to from there. And you can see all the other episodes of podcasts that I've been on, like John Reap's podcast or Storyworthy. You could check out a bunch of the Doug Loves Movies that I've been on and subscribe. Please go on there and subscribe to me or other awesome comedians like, Doug Benson or Bert Kreischer, those guys. So go check that out. You have to. Laughable app on your iTunes. You got to check that out. You can listen to our podcast. Yeah. And real quick, a little scheduling shout-outs. If you're listening today, you can catch me for a couple more nights at the Looney Bin in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then, I'm moving, so I'm not doing much of shit all this month. But we do have a stand-up get-down. Isn't that right, Jason?
We do. Yep. Friday, May 26th, 10 o'clock, Arcade Comedy Theater.
May 26th, 10 p.m., Arcade Comedy Theater. A dope lineup once again. It is the only stand-up comedy game show in the world hosted by Jason Clark and myself.
It's true.
That's right.
True.
And then we'll have another one in June.
Yeah.
But other than that, I do have some other shows coming up. They're going to be awesome. That's a weird way to say it. I'm going to have shows that are going to be awesome.
Mark it down.
But, yeah, the very next night on May 27th, I'm performing at the Comtra Theater. That'll be in Cranberry, Pennsylvania. So all of my North Hills friends above Pittsburgh, I'll be up there. And then the first week of June, I'll be at the Tampa Improv with my dude, Harland Williams. And then back in Pittsburgh, June 22nd, I'll be headlining Rivers Casino for fun. Isn't that fun?
Just drop that on me.
Yeah, dude. So, Jace, you have anything happening? Oh, okay. Stand Up, Get Down.
Just Stand Up, Get Down.
May 26th.
Yep.
A
lot of open mics.
Jason's still earning his stripes.
Still getting ready.
Still getting ready. So, yeah, we're back. And I just want to – I think all my kids are taking a bath now.
Sounds like it. It's
but
bath time.
Dude, once I had kids, I mean, obviously when you have kids, like you want to get your baby a little onesie that's like, you know, it has a little Darth Vader on it. Yeah. Little baby Darth Vader on it. You know, little – of course you have to buy the little Yoda winter cap for your baby. They didn't have that when your kids were little, did they, Jace?
No.
Oh, my kids are – oh.
They might have.
Yeah, but they were
I think you had to dig. It's not like you can go on.
Now you could
can't
walk
go on
into,
Amazon and click and have it to me the next day.
You walk into Target, Toys R Us, anywhere, Kohl's, the merchandising, especially now that Disney took over. Oh my God, there's Star Wars anything. You could buy Star Wars anything.
I have a Darth Vader humidifier.
Of course you do.
It's
No, it's Darth Vader head.
It's his head.
That's a humidifier.
Mm-hmm.
I know, right?
Blows steam out the top of it.
Hey,
it's never been used. I cut the cord off.
I forgot to mention, speaking of cool stuff, we are now every month giving away a dad crate. Yes, you heard me. The dad crate. Every month, we're going to pick one listener to be sent personally a box with things in it. It's not going to be garbage things.
It's not going to be, we're not flea marketing out our shit.
I already have a couple cool things to put in the dad crate. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to be a dad either.
Yeah, they're not going to be dad specific.
You know us.
We're not sending you a 10-pack of Binkies. Get your goddamn mind right.
On. Grow up, okay?
Give me good stuff.
We're talking about some serious dad stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
beef jerky.
Dude stuff.
But
it's still called
dad crate.
So listen, go on any of our social medias, anywhere you see us post about Grown Dad Business, the podcast, anywhere we post a podcast, comment with hashtag dad crate, and you will be automatically entered. And I will randomly pick you, and we will send you a box out, and you'll get a bunch of cool stuff. Yeah, every month we're going to do that. So every month you have 4 episodes of Comment Dad Crate on any of the posts, and we'll send you stuff. Yeah. I'll be in touch.
Boom.
Yeah, boom. There we go. Hey, this next crate in May's crate might have some Star Wars stuff in it.
It's a good chance.
Ooh.
It's a good chance.
Ooh. Last month's dad crate had some pretty cool stuff in it.
Yeah.
April had some cool stuff in it. So what are you laughing at?
I love you.
Dude, I got some good stuff for it.
I know.
It was some cool stuff.
I know.
So anyway, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
And my kids are helping us. My kids are helping me pick some dad crate stuff.
Yeah.
But dude, there might be some Star Wars stuff because there's so much Star Wars stuff in my house that I literally could go grab some stuff and put it in the dad crate.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing. It was just so accessible. It's like, why wouldn't you buy your kids Star Wars shirts when, they're in their size and they're adorable?
Yeah. My son took to it, but he didn't. He didn't. For me, it was, I'm gonna get all those action figures. Now it's time. Now I'm gonna have multiple Darth Vaders filled with everything, and he just, it just wasn't. He got into it and then was just like, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
It's good. He loved to play the video games, and we would game. We play Lego Star Wars. Oh, Lego Star Wars. Oh my God.
We talked about that briefly.
I'd fire that thing up right now and just have fun.
Like I said before, we did 2 episodes on video games, basically older gaming, NES, Atari, and then we talked about playing video games with our kids. But dude, playing the Star Wars Lego games with my kids was phenomenal. It's so fun.
So fun.
They're so good.
That whole lineup. I mean, obviously into the movies, but
here's the thing, and a lot of people will say like, "Oh, you shouldn't, force your." Kids on the stuff you like. It was kind of not hard because, I have 4 rare Coca-Cola posters that hung in my dad cave. I have, a Star Wars,
you're not
McQuarrie
forcing.
poster.
You're not okay. Well,
no. Here's what happens. My kids just go. They see robots and they go, "What's that?"
No. What I'm saying to those people that want to tell me as a parent not to pump your brakes. I'm sharing with them an experience of my life that if they take to it,
by the way,
take to it.
I just want to point out, these are the same parents that put Steelers jerseys on their infants.
Son of a...
So,
you
know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
easy.
I'm allowed to tell my kids how cool Chewbacca is.
Sure.
Because, but really, that's what it is. My kids are like, Daddy, what's that?
I mean, I introduced it
What's
to them.
that?
My son's like, this is great.
Yeah.
My daughter's like, meh. Now, my
Yeah.
daughter's much older at
Yeah.
that point. You know, I didn't get her into it, you know, right away. And she's just like, nah, I'm good.
My daughter instantly was like, who's this Princess Leia?
Yeah.
She's like, who's this Princess Leia?
Yeah, that's cool.
My daughter loves action and adventure. She does.
Yeah.
I mean, my kids play action and adventure all the time.
Yeah.
They're playing adventures. They're putting on gear. They're making little outfits. They
Yeah.
get their swords and, you know, they're always doing fun stuff like that. And my daughter she loves that adventure. And so now with like Rey in Force Awakens and Jyn Erso,
I know.
oh my God, she is in just heroin heaven.
Heroin.
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 Yeah.
That sounds weird. Like we're saying, your girl's into heroin? What's
Yeah,
going on?
she loves opium dens.
Jesus.
No, she just like female superstars. I mean, she just loves it. I mean, and I think it's really cool that that she has these bunch of female characters that are main characters that are strong and brave.
Oh, Princess Leia. I mean, like you said, look at
Princess
that time
Leia
frame.
was
19. Listen, we're talking 1977,
Yeah.
and she's just like, "Give me that goddamn gun."
Yes.
Look, that scene when she's
Yeah.
just like, "I'll take care of this. Get the hell out of my way."
You know what's really funny is I laugh at it because I was watching the mashup because they take the end of A Force Awakens and they put it with A New Hope.
Yep.
And one of the things I noticed watching it over and over with my baby,
Yeah.
and I'll get to that in a minute, there's a reason why my baby wants to watch that all the time. My little girl who just turned 2.
Yeah.
But I noticed something is when Princess Leia in A New Hope is giving the files to R2-D2, the stormtroopers come in and they're like, oh, here's another one. And she just grabs a pistol and is like, motherfucker, and just gats a dude. She just kills a dude. And they're,
Right?
by the way, which is so funny because they're like, set your blasters to stun. Meanwhile, she's like, man, fuck all you.
I'm killing you.
Boop, shoots a dude in his heart, kills him. She kills a dude. And they still stun her.
Yeah.
Well, she's a high-profile
yeah.
prisoner.
Well, right. And
They know she's
and recently I've seen a theory, people putting out the theories of why the stormtroopers always missed when it came to those, obviously they had to miss to keep the story going.
Right.
But the idea that the whole thing was to arc because they had to be saved. They had to meet the end the way that it was supposed to by, the Empire's hands, not by some goddamn stormtrooper.
Yeah, also, I don't think you want to be the dude.
Yeah.
If you want the attention that you're the dude that killed Princess Leia.
No.
You're like, you did it. And you're like, oh, shit, I got to do interviews all week. Like, I don't know.
I got to
like,
go to HR.
Yeah, God, I got to fill out paperwork.
For Barb.
You killed an ambassador. Oh, jeez.
And it's whose daughter?
Yeah, and
what?
And by the way, she was 15, you asshole.
Yeah.
But no, dude, my kids now and my son, dude, I got Star Wars Battlefronts for Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
My kids love watching it. I mean, and that's really the only guns that we have in the house is kind of like Star Wars blasters.
Right.
Because it's lasers and it's space. And I think with Stormtroopers, not only do we now know they're not human, they're clones. Yeah. They're human clones, so they're totally fine to be killed. When they made up that whole bullcrap in Attack of the Clones or whatever.
Right.
Like, they're all, I'm like, oh my God.
They're all the same person.
God, oh my God, kill me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what they're into, and my little one now, she loves Star Wars. Yeah. And here's how it started for her. She's obsessed with Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm. And that was my obsession.
I know.
My obsession was Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That was my thing.
I love everything about. I don't have a single character.
I do. I love everything about it. I do have my characters, and I'm just like, oh, good. I'm glad Han Solo's
I just
dead.
never have picked a character.
Weird. I was like, yeah.
I did go through a Boba Fett phase when I was in high school.
Oh,
I did.
I just never.
But that's when I was a cool, rebellious, teenager, and I was like, I'm gonna be Boba Fett
because no one else is rocking the Boba Fett backpack. Yeah. Aaron Kleiber's going with the Boba Fett backpack.
I had a Boba Fett patch that I made myself on an army jacket that I had. True story. My friends from high school remember that if they're listening. I had a patch on my jacket.
No judgment. My silence. Don't take my silence as judgment.
Here's the first
of
impression. Here's the first impression. He's no good to me dead. That's Boba Fett. Thank you very much. He's no good to me dead. He was Australian.
Yeah.
Cool, huh? He was right out of Mad Max Thunderdome.
Yeah.
You sound like Mel Gibson.
Yeah, I was going to say Mel Gibson. That's funny.
He's a little bit. Actually, Boba Fett sounds like Jason Statham.
Jason Statham.
By the way, I just saw my friend Kevin Pollak do a show. If you guys know Kevin Pollak, you know he's in everything. He, you know, whatever. He's in Usual Suspects. The best Jason Statham I've ever heard in my life. He does this thing where he goes, this is how you know how to do Jason Statham, where he goes, Jason Statham says, what did you say? And Jason Statham would go, this is how he says it. What you say?
What you say?
He's like, what you say? So fun. Anyway, you got to see Kevin Pollak live. He does the best impressions in the world. Jason Statham is one of them. But yeah, Boba Fett's Jason Statham, I'm pretty sure. But then, so my baby fell in love with Darth Vader. She's like terrified of him 1 minute. The next minute, enamored by him.
Yeah.
She calls him. You ready for this, Jace? Jace knows.
Mm-hmm.
She calls Darth Vader bump bump.
Bump bump.
And we're like, some people are like, what? Why'd
she
you call him
bump bump? Why'd she call him bump bump?
I'll tell you why. Because when she first started seeing Darth Vader on the screen, she heard the Imperial March, which starts as bum 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 bum. She literally calls him the first two notes of the Imperial March, bump bump.
Yep.
So now she's fighting bump bump. She wants to. She's scared of bump bump. And I go, what are you doing? She's got a lightsaber. She goes, I go get bump bump.
Oh man!
Now she's saying she's gonna kick bump bump in his booty.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, I kick him in the booty. She wants to fight him. She's scared of him. She sees him 1 minute. She's terrified the next minute. She loves him. It's a tumultuous relationship, Jason.
It's a love-hate thing.
My daughter's in an abusive relationship with Darth Vader. She loves him and hates him at the same time. But also, my daughter does something adorable. Is she does the Chewie, because I do Chewie. This is my second impression.
It's good.
Not bad.
It's good.
It's not bad. I do it for my kids. I mean, it's really not like I'm trying to do it professionally for video games.
No.
I do it for my kids.
Yeah.
Okay. My daughter does. I'll see if I can get my daughter. Abby! Luke! Get down here with Abby!
As we're waiting on them.
Bring Abby down.
As we're waiting on them to come down,
yeah.
I'll tell you a quick adult story. You can go to St. Martin. You go to St. Martin and visit a man, and he has a museum, and it's called the Yoda Guy. He is the creator, and I have a picture of
Yoda Guy.
Nick Maley, who created Yoda. And he has a museum in St. Martin.
I will go.
Because he's worked on a lot of movies. It's good.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh, here's the fam.
Oh, boy.
Now, right now, Skaskook, which I call Luke the Nuke, is in his Star Wars pajamas right now. Luke, how much do you like Star Wars? So much? Now, we were talking about Abby. Now, Abby, who do you like Darth Vader?
Yeah.
What do you call him? Is that bump bump?
A booty.
You kick him in the booty! Abby, can you do Chewbacca?
Chewbacca.
Yeah. How do you do Chewbacca? What's Chewbacca say?
Ba-ba.
No. What's Chewbacca say? Do Chewbacca? How's he say? That's her doing Chewbacca. Say. Luke, do you know how to do Chewbacca? You just sound like you got to poop your pants. Oh, that. Yeah. What are those?
Saw.
That means stormtrooper, by the way. That's what she's pointing at. So.
Yeah.
Oh, you already told. Well, so now this is where we're at.
That's it.
This is where we're at. I have little kids in Star Wars pajamas at my house all the time.
She's pointing at Kylo Ren. She's not sure. She's like, I'm not sure.
Yeah. What's Chewbacca say?
Ba-ba.
Where's Bump Bump at?
He does not say bok, bok, bok.
Where's Bump Bump?
A booty.
Who? You're going to kick Darth Vader in the booty? Oh. You're going to kick Luke in his booty? I don't know if we can end the show like we normally do.
No, I love you. It's a good day.
I love you.
I love you. I love you guys.
Hey, may the Force be with you guys.
May the Force be with you all. Happy
May the 4th. And also, hey, it's May 4th. happy birthday to Missy Marino. One of my favorite best friends. She will be a guest soon. Yeah. She has been a guest on the Handle the Truth podcast many times, but she will be an actual guest on Grown Dad Business. She's been a crossover guest.
She has. She's been on
when we've done Handle the Truth and the other Star Wars episode. But her birthday is on May the 4th, and so happy birthday to Missy.
Hopefully she's celebrating with a Starbucks unicorn drink, which she's going cuckoo crazy over right now.
Oh, hey, and at Arcade Comedy Theater tonight, by the way, I forgot to mention, the roast of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
They're having a Star Wars roast tonight if you're listening today, May the 4th, Thursday. So, bingo. Luke, tell everybody, may the Force be with you. Luke is the SOB of the week.
Yes.
For being a hot shot.
Hot shot, Luke.
Why you got to be such a hot shot?
Why are you hot shotting, Luke?
Okay, say may the Force be with you, Abby.
You nailed it. Everybody